Are you playing Delta Force Season 10 and no matter how many setting guides you watch, you still shoot like this? Well, since your dad still hasn't come back from getting lottery scratchers over 20 years ago, I got you. Welcome to Some Dad Gaming. Your time is valuable, so let's get into it. Now, for you copy-paste people who just copy every settings video until you find something that works for you, here are my settings. But if you want to know why these are my settings, or you want to find settings tailored for you by you, then the first thing we need to do, reset those damn settings. Seriously. Sensitivity, dead zones, input curves, and field of view. Now, before you run into the comments screaming Cronus, what if I told you it's free? Yes, you heard me, free. And mouse and keyboard players are gonna get mad as fuck after I show you this. But I play keyboard and mouse also, so I don't care. Also, I don't mean to call out all these setting guide videos on any shooting game for that matter, but most of them are full of shit. Sorry, not sorry. Now pull up your settings and go to graphics. Then raise your field of view to the max. Then put all of your activation, accelerations, delays, ADS, and inner dead zones to 0. But all the streamers say that, and it never works. Well, some of those streamers are probably using a dead zone software. And what some of them probably don't tell you is that it's loaded with macros and scripts. Not all of them, just some of them. But a lot more than none. So stop listening to banned streamers on their 20th alt account. Instead, hit subscribe. Then go to the practice range. Move your sticks rapidly. And if you start to drift, adjust your dead zones up by 5 until you stop drifting. Unless you have anti-drift sticks like Hall effects or TMRs. Next, look downrange and lower your field of view until that blurry blob finally has legs and arms. Then go to additional settings and find the response curve. And if you like to jump from game to game, choose linear. But if you like Call of Duty, choose dynamic. But if you like a steep curve with a lot of control, choose standard. Now here's where the Delta Force settings get super confusing, because the devs hate controller players for some reason. And so I don't bore you with any nerd talk, I'll try to keep it simple. When you push your stick, there's supposed to be a ramp up acceleration from 0 to 100%, kinda like a gas pedal in your car. The more you push, the faster you go. The less you push, the slower you go. In Call of Duty, it's called input curves. In Battlefield, it's called acceleration curves. Now I'm gonna show you a trick that us dads have been hiding for years. Put your crosshair over this dummy. We'll call him Fred. Don't shoot Fred, not yet. Then start to wiggle your aim back and forth, and try to stay within the hitbox.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Now, let's find our baseline. If you're wiggling outside the hitbox, lower your horizontal sense. If it seems too slow, raise your horizontal sense. Mine's 120. Then on our vertical sense, use 50 to 75% of our horizontal sense. Can't make a dollar without making sense. For example, if our horizontal is 120, we need to put our vertical anywhere from 60 to 90. Mine's 90. Next, horizontal hipfire acceleration. Now point at Fred, and with 100% input, turn left or right doing a 360. And measure this by counting, like this. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. If you don't make a full 360, adjust your acceleration higher. If you go too far, adjust your acceleration lower. And try to stay in this area. And no, it doesn't have to be exactly 3 seconds. Whatever feels comfortable for you is ideal. Mine's 240. Next, activation time. And to make sure we make this as smooth or as snappy as you like, the lower it is, the snappier the flicks. The higher it is, the smoother the turning. For example, if you're still overcorrecting, slightly raise it. But if it feels too slow, slightly lower it. Now let's find our zoom sense, aka aim down sight. And here's the secret. You want control, but not the kind you need to see therapists for. I'm referring to micro-adjusting your aim. Basically, we need to follow the same steps. Win ADS. Now aim at Fred and start to wiggle your aim, but this time we want to stay around the center of the hitbox. My ADS horizontal is 40, my ADS vertical is 30. Now ADS onto Fred, and with 100% input, turn left or right. Then instead of doing a 360, do a 90 to 180 degree turn on the aim down sight, aka ADS. And if you're under aiming, raise your ADS horizontal acceleration. If you're over aiming, lower it. Mine's 60 at 90 degrees. Then put your ADS activation time to the same as your hipfire activation time, and leave all delays to 0 for snappy aiming. Side note, if you want vertical hipfire and ADS acceleration, just follow the 50 to 75% rule again. Or leave them at 0 like I do. Just remember, whatever feels comfortable for you is ideal. Bonus tip, if your aiming is on point but your recoil control is still all over the place, don't worry, we got a fix for that too. Now, point at a blank wall. Start shooting and try to control your recoil by slightly pulling down or in the opposite direction of the recoil pattern. But if your recoil control feels too sensitive and pulls down, raise up your dead zone by 1. But if it kicks up, lower your dead zone by 1. And keep doing this until it feels like a laser. Next, find Fred and put your crosshair on either side of Fred. Then start shooting, and while firing, start aiming towards Fred while trying to control your recoil. And yes, it's time to shoot Fred. Fuck you, Fred. If your aim pulls down at an angle like this, slightly raise up your dead zone by 1. Or if it's kicking up over Fred's head like this, lower your dead zone by 1. And yes, keep doing this until you got a nice straight line. Just remember, different weapons have different fire rates, recoil patterns, and bullet spread, and may require more or less input depending on the weapon you choose. Now, let's put it into practice. And look at that, you're fucking amazing. And if you found any value or entertainment from this video, you know what to do. My final dad tip, always remember, not everyone is a cheater, but they are out there. And while we're playing the real game, they're out here playing Among Us. Until we meet again, have a good one, gamer family.